It's your hostess with the mostest and your brother from another mother that truly ain't got no other. This AB.Marley. Hey guys, how we doing today?
It's your girl Neve, your sister from another mister, because you know Papa
was
was a Rolling Stone. Today is Monday, which means that we gotta get that mind right.
Mm-hmm.
And we doing a new series today, and we started off with the letter M, which is morals.
Which basically means
More roles for me.
I guess so. If you want to be part of a movie, but
Not that kind of movie, guys.
no, but yeah, seriously, guys. Like, happy Mindset Mondays, everybody. Let's take this opportunity to open up our minds to becoming a better adult and learning to channel our energies into other places so that we don't stay so focused, stuck in our heads. The past month we've been doing Mindset Money acronyms, which allowed you guys to break down each word that you can do to give you some form of definition for those of you who are just tuning in and haven't seen this up to this point. And I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for staying in tune for so much, giving me and Nevaeh so much feedback. We really do appreciate the love that we get out there. We do.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we really do appreciate you guys. I mean, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't know one of the things that we need to do to make it better for you guys and things that we need to improve on ourselves. So,
Exactly.
any little bit of feedback is better than none, and we'll take it. The good and the bad.
Be careful with the bad, but you gotta keep your mind right so it doesn't affect you for too long. But like Nevaeh said, the next acronym for the new set of Mindset Monday is morals. And it's basically what you hold dear to yourself. What are you setting the laws for your body? Because let's be honest with ourselves, we should be treating our bodies like a temple. And there are rules to uphold within this foundation. And what are they to you? Everybody's is different, and we can understand that we're not always going to agree, but we can always hear out somebody else's story. Because you never know how far you can actually relate to somebody in certain aspects.
Just to put it in a quicker context, it's pretty much just do's and don'ts for you. That's basically all it means. It's like you have a certain guideline that you follow, within your life, whether it be just things that you just want to accomplish, or it could be a religion that you have, or maybe certain beliefs. It's pretty much just like getting down to the character of who you are. Like what gets you, what are the rules that you set in your life to get to where you need to be? Is it like, I don't know, maybe you don't like smoking, or maybe you don't like drinking, maybe you feel like you want to, I don't know, take a trip to Mecca at least once in your life. These are all things that are moral to you. And it could even be something as small as like you just being like, well, I don't ever want to feel like I'm disrespecting my parents, or I just want to get straight A's in school because I want to go to like a good college. So like those are all your morals to you, like just the rules and guidelines that you have for yourself. And following your morals is kind of like a diet, kind of sort of, because it's like you basically like training yourself to get to where you need to be, and you just making sure that you don't overstep the things that you may not want to encounter.
So basically, like learning how that even though some things could be bad for you and it tastes bad, they can actually be good for you. Because when people diet, some people can't get right into it because they're so used to having bad habits.
Mm.
So when you break those habits and then you diet into something that's supposed to be good for your body and making you more, making your bones not crackle together, making sure that your skin is healthy, or making sure your body is right. It's always about putting that mind to work and saying that this is where I want to be at and where I'm going to push myself to be further. And if you can't complete it in the first try, that's always okay too,
Mm-hmm.
Failure is always an option.
I would rather you, and I cannot say this enough times, I could say this in every video, I would rather you fail trying than you not attempt to do it and you always wonder what could have happened.
I don't like those what ifs. Those like take away the soul too much, in my personal opinion, because
Mm-hmm.
there's you always asking yourself a question. Now, I'm not saying that asking yourself a question is not always a good thing, but when it comes to what if I, went with this person, would I have been happy as I thought I would have been? What if I, went to this school, would I get the degree I want? There's so
Well,
many different ones.
I mean, even just going with that, even though you just said like you had a what if, that still is a part of your morals because you had to make a decision as to what you felt was important to you by observing the situation. Well, if I do this, what would be the outcome for that? If I do this, then what's going to happen this way?
Mm.
So, no matter what you do, your character and your morals are always going to play a part into what you do in your life. And even though you don't even realize it, I mean, it could be something as simple as waking up and brushing your teeth in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't even realize it. That's part of your morals. It's a decision that you make every morning when you wake up to brush your teeth. You don't have to. It's not mandatory, but it's just like a unknown written rule that you have. Like, this is what I've been taught when I was growing up, so this is what I have to do now as an adult. Like making your bed up too.
Mm-hmm.
You get up in the morning, you may probably straggle around the house for a little bit, and then eventually you make up your bed because that's what you did. That's your morals. You grew up like that. To you that is what is right. Maybe if you see someone and you are at your friend's house or something like that, and you guys are hanging out, and then you wake up in the morning and you guys are having a good time or whatever like that, and you're like, hey man, like your bed's not made. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, that ain't right. And maybe they're like, I don't want my bed made.
Mm.
But that's their morals. That's what they believe in. That's what they like.
That's what they want to do.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, think about it another way, as in, how like for us gamers out there or storytellers, where we create these people or these characters and we give them a backstory, and then when we play them, it feels so amazing to want to see them grow and prosper. But if you gave them everything that you want, wouldn't it, without no progress in between that, wouldn't that not really be the character that you thought you wanted it to be? Just like you would say for yourself, if you must start somewhere in order to progress in the middle and to get to that goal, to the finish line, but if you're not willing to deal with the progress in between, then what was the point of you starting? You have to get somewhere in life, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's always a beginning, there's always a middle, and there's always an end. And
exactly.
Sometimes you won't know where you have been until you see the end to get to the beginning. I don't know, like some of you guys are probably like, well, that's confusing. I don't get that. It's like you being the end results of your parents. You are the end results of your parents, but your parents came before you. So if you're only seeing yourself and you're not looking at them, that's the beginning. It started with them. It started with your mom. It started with your dad. That's the beginning. You are the end. So now you have to go back to figure out maybe who you are, what's going on, like anything about yourself.
When you're born, you don't really think of anything because you're just taking everything in and learning from it. When you are two different generations of people whose end decision was the result of you, now they have to take both of their own individual morals and bring it to you, and then you take that same information and you make it into who you are as a character. That shows how you act, how you move, what you do, and how you treat people. And that's the start of it. The progress in between is you getting to the same age as where your parents did. To where it's like, okay, I've lived this long, as far up as when my mom or my father had me. And it's like, what have I gained from both parties at this point? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I could say for myself, when I was growing up, I had, ladies raising 3 boys. So I got like my characteristics from them. I sit back and watch the scene and see how people really act. I get that from my mother. I get, being spontaneous and being adventurous and allowing myself to go to places even though I'm not comfortable in. I get that from, my paternal aunt, my grandmother's wisdom, because she's always giving and instilling in me what I can become if I really put the work into it. And believing in me. So, that she put within myself, I was able to believe in myself. I mean, my whole family did that for me, but she was the top, like, hey, listen, this, that, and the third, you're gonna make it, you're gonna be okay. Keep pushing yourself forward. And for my auntie, it was always like meeting new people, not being afraid to have, conversations with anybody and enjoying life for what it is. Because when I'm at the age of when my mother had me, and in that time frame, I've learned so much. I've learned that, you shouldn't be able to hold everything in within yourself anymore, because that's just gonna be, plaque that's sticking you down to the ground and not letting you move forward. What I've also learned is you got to take chances, because if you don't, you'll never know if you're good at something or not, because you're always worried about the way you would look. I used to be so worried about perception and the way I was looking and the way I was acting, that I created a character within myself that I want this person to be, and that's who I should be. But when I don't get to that point, or I make a mistake, like, a whole nother side of me comes out. Because it's like a soul inner battle with myself, where I'm so frustrated. It's like, why did you shouldn't have tripped like that, over something ridiculous as you walk in. Oh, you shouldn't have said something like that, because now you sound stupid. And it's like, okay, and like, there's no reason to beat yourself up as badly as you should, because the morals that I gained from each individual person that I grew up with showed me that there can be changes, there can be ways to fixing problems, and if you're not willing to admit it to yourself, then why are you wasting anybody's time? Because you have to, in my opinion, you have to make changes. You have to evolve with the times. You have to understand different, languages, lingos, reading more, creating stuff for yourself, and knowing when to take a break. Because at the end of the day, if these things that you want, you gotta work hard for it. And if you don't start somewhere, you don't progress, and you don't complete it. And then there's too many what ifs. And I'm tired of having that person.
I just want to ask you guys, and I even want to ask you, AB, what is important to you? I don't need an immediate answer. And for those of you who are watching, think about it. Don't make it so immediate. Because if it is something that is immediate, that you're just like, I got a response to it, that's not what's really important to you. It may be important to you on like a small scale, but I mean like a big deal. Like, what is something that you really want and what you really desire? Like, what is something that keeps you going?
Mm-hmm.
What is the thing that you hold on to the most?
And that's going to be our question of the week, you guys. When you see this video and it's get posted, you have until next Mindset Monday to be able to give us an answer. If you feel like you don't have it within that week time frame, that's okay too. If you got a few months to a year to get to it, that's fine with us. Just make sure you really sit down and think about it. Honestly, like, we got to figure out what we truly love and what we really want in our lives, because in reality, we have mortality, and we only have so long in this world, and time seems like it gets faster the older you get, and the more things that you know about people that you truly care about. Make sure that you guys take this opportunity to really take care of yourselves. Understand that life is going to be difficult at times, and know that you can do the best that you can with the best of your abilities. Cherish and love what you have around you, and love yourself. Alright, you guys, we'll see you later. Peace. I know the hell you at.